This is the Chrissy, Sam and Brownie podcast.
Good morning.
Rise and smile.
Nova.
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie, live from the Lower Town Hall for their annual Comedy Festival show.
Melbourne International Comedy Festival, March 30 to April 24. On sale now. Tickets and info at comedyfestival.com.au.
We're here, our favourite outside broadcast of the year on Christmas. It's Christmas Eve to me.
Yeah.
On Comedy Festival.
Absolutely.
Show day. Good
Well,
morning.
you were the, is that a little bit loud, don't it? Hey, you were the stalker last year, weren't you, Swanee?
Yeah, I was.
You were the patron saint of the Comedy Festival,
Yeah.
so it's good to see.
And I can't wait to get out there pounding the pavement at night, even though I've rolled my ankle, which is very painful. Thank you for asking.
You've iced it up, though. You've been a real professional. Hey, I just want to give a quick shout-out. I was out at Endeavour Hills yesterday,
Yeah.
which my daughter played touch rugby, and I dropped in to grab some lunch to the Goodwill Cafe and Bakery. And the first thing I see when I walk in the glass window there where all the food is...
An English tart.
No,
A jam face.
no,
Lamington.
no,
Party pie.
no.
Vanilla slice.
No, come on, you know what I love. When I go to a bakery...
Oh,
what I
an
look for-
apple turnover.
An apple turnover with a huge amount of cream.
Real cream.
And you know what the little trick was? Icing on the pastry.
Ooh, controversial.
Might be cheating a little bit.
I
Anyway,
like it just a dusting of icing sugar.
Absolutely. Well, no, there was a little bit of icing sugar, but the icing was there. So, Thanu, thank you. And him and his mum listen to us every morning from 6 a.m. So that's the shout-out as well as everyone
Thanu,
here at the
is he
Comedy
Greek?
Festival. I'm not sure, but geez, he makes a good apple turnover.
Swanee, a reminder that he won 3 premierships and used to live on the edge, and now a sprinkling of icing sugar revs his engine.
That's right. He used to be a gladiator.
I had to pull the car over because the cream was just flowing out.
Really?
Oh, dear God.
Wow.
Experienced that for a while.
All right, so on the show, we got such a big lineup. Tom Gleeson, Crazy Uncle Dave O'Neill, Ursula Carlson, Denise Scott, Becker, a lot. But
Yeah.
next, we're going to kick it off with the very, very wonderful Zoe Coombs-Marr. We're from the Town Hall.
Yes.
Good morning, Melbourne.
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
Make up for missed holidays with whatif.com this Easter.
Ocean view apartment for me, water park for the kids. Plus, select hotels are fully refundable. Booking cancellation windows apply.
What if it's Aussie for travel?
Check government advisories before booking and travelling.
It's Chrissy, Sam and Brownie live from the Town Hall for the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. We've got so many great comedians. Here's the first one.
Zoe Coombs-Marr, the first comedian to kick off our wonderful outside broadcast, has a show called Dave the Opener at the Arts Centre from tomorrow night. Tickets at comedyfestival.com.au. I'm going to be sick of saying that by the end of the day. Here's Zoe.
Welcome, Zoe.
Oh, thanks for having me.
As usual, a thrill to see you.
Oh, I'm glad it's thrilling.
Your poster is intriguing to me because you are a man in the poster for your show.
I am. And yeah, it's a confronting poster, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Well, Dave's back.
Dave's back, yeah. For those who don't know, I play a hack male comedian called Dave. He's like the worst open micer that you can imagine. And in the poster, I'm sort of shirtless, looking like I'm in a Red Hot Chili Peppers cover band.
But so confident with it.
Yeah.
Which I imagine is Dave's thing.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, check it out, ladies.
I cannot wait.
You know, does Dave walk on stage with the Barry Award, which he won years ago?
No, but maybe he should. I'll dig it out of the
Yes, he
box.
should.
Well, I think it's good. I like to walk around with my premiership medallions on.
Yeah,
regularly.
good. Where
It's
are
good.
they now? You left them in the green room,
I
didn't you?
did. I was telling you. Remember that before the show started. Yeah, well, that's good. I thought you retired him, so he's back now.
He is back, yeah. He's been in a coma since 2016, so he's just catching up.
So how else would you describe Dave? Like, what to people that haven't seen him? I've seen Dave. He's quite something, especially when he just stares at the audience.
Yeah, he
Freaks
loves
me
to
out.
stare.
How would you describe him, like his interests? What's Dave into?
Dave's just purely into comedy, really. I think he sort of only exists on a comedy stage. But he's sort of if you've ever seen a bunch of comedians, if you've ever seen a lineup show in an RSL, and then the guy who you go, I might go to the toilet now. That's Dave.
What comedians does Dave like?
Dave, he likes, like, you know, your classics, your Rodney Roods.
Yes.
Kevin Bloody Wilson.
Your ostentatious. Yeah, good gear.
What about when you go to parties, Zoe, or not parties, just when you're with friends? Obviously, we've been locked down for a couple of years, so a little sort of sneak around parties, have a few drinks. Do you always
Which nobody did.
I didn't.
Of course.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry. I lost my mind there for a minute. Do you get sick of the request from friends going, come on, give us a bit of Dave?
No, none of my friends has ever requested Dave in real life.
What?
No, and he's not allowed in the house either. Because I have to get changed before I come home. Once I came home from a gig and my girlfriend was in bed and, I'm gay. But in comedy.
What's Dave
No.
think? What's Dave think about that?
But yeah, he's all right with it. He's grappling with it. But I came home, she was in bed, and I walked in as Dave, and she was like, "No, never again! You are banned." So I have to get changed at the venue.
Free zone.
You grew up in the country.
I did. I grew up in Grafton.
So that's like a big satellite town, isn't it? It's quite a big town. Like for the country, that's a big town.
It's a big small town.
And now you live in the Big Smoke in Fitzroy.
Yeah.
What do you prefer?
They're both interesting. Grafton is sort of... Recently I went to a bar in Melbourne and there was a drink on the menu called a Grafton Margarita. And a Grafton Margarita is just cheap vodka and Solo. So that's Grafton's vibe, and I'm getting used to Fitzroy. It's quite fancy. Like the other day, and you know, it's got its hipster rep. The other day I saw a guy riding a fixie bike while singing Dido.
Oh, yes. Fitzroy's full of weird moments like that.
Yeah.
That's why
It's got some nice murals, though.
Beautiful.
Yes.
But then there was another
What mural
one.
are you talking about exactly?
I'm not sure. You go past the Royal Derby. I'll tell you what, I'll take
Graffiti
Dave.
is what you're trying to say.
I'll take Dave to the Royal Derby Hotel one night just to
On the side
just
of
for a beer.
on the side of the Royal Derby is a full wall of this man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Dave
what
will
he's
like
talking
it.
about.
Dave will like it.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
He used to be a gladiator, but now he likes apple turnovers. And in this mural, his arms are the size of 2 caravans.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dino.
Oh, my pleasure.
What are you trying to say? They're not that anymore?
No.
I'm going to check it out. I'll have to check it out.
Do you like apple turnovers?
I mean, sure.
Oh, come on, I get a lot of shade. So every bakery I go to, I look for these apple turnovers, but everyone thinks I just cop a bit of grief for it and a bit of shade.
I've just never really thought about apple turnovers.
Well, I think about them a lot. I drove to Endeavour Hills, 45 minutes drive yesterday, just for an apple turnovers, huh?
This is the most I've ever thought about apple turnovers these past few seconds.
So when you go to the comedy festival, right, after your show, does it feel like when you're at school and it's an inter-school sports carnival and you check out all the other people from other schools and it's a bit nervous?
Yeah, I mean, yes, with less acne, but... yeah, it kind of is. It's good. I mean, we're all... No, I'm not going to lie to you. We're not all mates. But it's a bunch of mates, like people who you see every year. And it's always exciting to see what everyone's shows are and how everyone's going and whether their ticket sales are better than yours.
Well, Zoe, we appreciate you getting up so early to come and see us. Go see Zoe's show, Dave the Opener, at the Arts Centre from tomorrow night.
It's so good. Everyone, Zoe Coombs-Marr.
Yes.
Comedyfestival.com.au. Type in Dave the Opener. Back in a second with Alex Ward. Don't move.
This is the Chrissy, Sam and Brownie podcast.
It's our live comedy festival show, the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. Go book a ticket before we interview introduce our next guest. Round of applause for audience member Clint, who just baked us a whole bunch of hot cross buns. You magnificent son of a bitch. And now,
Alex Ward. She recently performed My Worst Nightmare, which is doing a gig in front of a bunch of 10-year-olds. Anyway, you can see Alex's show You're Welcome at the Chinese Museum, 22 Common Place, from tomorrow night. Tickets at comedyfestival.com.au. Here's Ward.
Here she is, Alex Ward. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, Chrissy.
Please tell me about this gig for 10-year-olds.
I was sort of tricked into it. I got a call from this booker and she's like, oh, can you do a young crowd? And I said, how young? And she goes, 18. And I was like, yeah, well, that's me about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because I lied to her and she looked up and I'm 32. I don't know if she then wanted to get revenge on me. But I pull up to the venue and straight away I'm like, well, this is a scout hall.
Oh.
This is not a venue, it's a scout hall. And it's never like a good sign if you're thinking before you go in, I hope these are 18-year-old scouts just trying to get their comedy badge.
Yeah,
that's not a good start. If that's
No.
the best case scenario, some weird 18-year-old scouts, you're off to a good start.
No.
But I go in there and straight away I was like, oh, okay, either some people have had children young and they've left them in this room, or this is the crowd. And the booker comes running up to me and she's like, okay, I might have exaggerated the age. I was like, how old are they? And she's like, they're 10, okay? They're 10. And
I can't believe that the parents have organised a stand-up comedian.
Very mature audience.
For a
though.
10-year-old.
They'll get
They're
your jokes,
desperate.
Alex.
I'm not sure the parents knew what was going on. I think they just were like, oh, fun night out at the Scout Hall, send them off.
But normally for a 10-year-old you have like a fairy, do you know what I mean? Like you've got a performer coming.
there
It's
was
not you.
There was a ping pong table going the whole way through my set.
Yeah,
there
sure.
But you were about to say you have Alex or you have fairy bread.
Well, no, it's like, if you have a performer coming, they're dressed as a pirate or a clown or a fairy.
I mean, I think they thought I was a clown.
So what sort of gear did you do for the 10-year-olds?
Well, I have nothing for 10-year-olds. So straight away I was like, oh, no. And they're like, the book was like, well, you're here now, you better do it. And I was like, oh, fine. And also it was like $500, which I will do.
Cash in an envelope.
So I'm like running out to the green room just adjusting my references. And by the way, the green room was a tree in the yard. So I'm like squatting behind the tree, just adjusting, like, I won't say it on morning radio, but an unsolicited photo you might get from a man became like a minion meme. And I was just having to adjust stuff on the fly, but I had a plan. I had a really good idea. I was like, what if I came out? Because they were all kids. And I said to someone like, what do you do for a living?
Yeah, great.
That's what I thought.
Gear. That's some good shit there, Alex.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Yes.
That's what I was really proud of myself for that. I was like, that's funny. I was like, I'm going to do it. And so I walk on stage. Well, it isn't a stage. It's just an equal floor. But I walk on. Oh, gosh. They are lower than me because they're tiny. So they're down there. I walk on. They don't clap or anything. I'm like, well, just clap. I was like, stop the ping pong at least. Like, I come on and...
you should have said hands on heads.
I should have, but I have no experience.
Yeah,
with
right,
kids.
okay, yeah.
I had nothing. And so straight away I was like, I'm just going to have to get into it straight away. I was like, hi. And then I just go, and what do you do for a living? To the girl at the front. And without missing a beat, she just goes, doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Righto,
She's
smart
giving
ass.
you nothing.
She just derailed me so fast. And I was like, look to the person next to her, and she just goes, yeah, and I'm a lawyer. And I was like,
Oh, no. Any hecklers? Did they come back at you at all?
Oh, I mean, the whole time they were talking. They were not listening to me. But I can't believe I was so annoyed at the booker. I was like, she lied to me twice. She said they were 18. Then she said they were 10. They're actually young professionals. I was like, I couldn't. And anyway, I was like, later they asked me to play ping pong and they also destroyed me at that. So I had nothing.
Hey, what's a tougher audience? You're a room full of 10-year-olds or when you're running gear by your folks? Well, your old man. How's your old man take some of your jokes?
He's more like a comedian at the back. You know when comedians sit at the back of the room? I don't know if they're familiar with this, and they laugh at the people doing the worst. That's my dad.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah, so it's always fine, even if it's bad. He's laughing.
So that's where you get it from?
Yeah.
Alex Ward. Everyone, round of applause. You got to see You're Welcome. It's at the Chinese Museum. Go to comedyfestival.com.au, type in Alex Ward. Thanks for giving us your time.
Thank you. Please come. Don't bring your kids.
Ever wondered what happens in the studio? Check out Chrissy, Sam and Brownie on Instagram.
Good morning. It's Chrissy, Sam and Brownie on Nova 100. It's our annual Melbourne Comedy Festival show, and here's our next comedian.
Mark Watson, a UK comedian who apparently is finally back in his favourite place ever, Melbourne. I think that's true. I just skimmed through a lot of information. Anyway, this information I didn't skim through, which is his show called This Can't Be It. It kicks off tomorrow night at the Melbourne Town Hall. Tickets at comedyfestival.com.au. Here's Mark.
Welcome to the show, Mark.
Thank you.
And welcome to the country. We're particularly excited to have you here because there were no internationals last year at all, and now look at you.
Yeah, there nearly weren't this year either. My flight was delayed by 36 hours. Yeah, that's the right face.
That is the worst.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal, actually. It was on the runway. They said, we've got a small hitch getting catering on board. And that turned into, also, we don't have a pilot, bye. And that was literally it. So I only arrived, last night. I haven't seen the sun yet, basically. I'm completely, this is like a sort of hallucination.
Yeah, it is. It really is. You look like a cartoon meerkat.
To be honest, that's how I usually look. It's just now I've got an excuse for it.
So you're doing the comedy gala tonight, mate. I reckon it might be a little bit loose, because you won't have slept by that stage. You'll be all over the shop.
Yeah, normally what they recommend in these situations is stay up for 15 hours and then do a high-pressure 3-minute slot on national TV. Yeah, I'm going to know absolutely nothing about tonight's gig, I don't think. It's just going to come and go.
Now, Melbourne's your favourite city, apparently, now. Please tell me. Just say that for every city when you go to, mate.
I could easily be lying. I could be doing that everywhere. But no, I really love it here. I've been here loads of times. And there was a lot of periods over the past 3 years where I couldn't imagine how it was going to happen again, obviously. I was meant to be here in 2020, and then, you heard, there was quite a big virus. And then last year it was almost worse because there was a festival but we couldn't come, just had to watch it all unfold. Yeah, it was in a sort of miraculous window of no lockdown last year. It was bizarre. Yeah, that's the thing, it almost looked so normal online, but I did feel that if I'd sort of been the only act to show up from the UK and just like wandered onto the stage and say, hi there, your cases are about to skyrocket but I'm here with some laughs, it wouldn't have gone down great. What's it like in the UK there at the moment? How's everyone feeling about this virus? It's almost... Sorry, just being heckled by the coffee machine. Yeah, I can hear the coffee machine. You're worried it's not going well if the loudest thing in the room is a piece of equipment.
That's making your coffee triple shot latte.
Yeah, I've just asked for a quintuple coffee, yeah. It's pretty weird at home because it's almost like it never happened, except that obviously it did. So there's still loads of cases and still, the after effects are there, but everyone is kind of... There's not even stuff like here with hand sanitising and checking in with apps and stuff like that. Everyone's pretty much just said, all right, that'll do now. But we did have vaccinations roll out really early, so everyone's kind of vaxxed and safe at least. But it is a weird thing where, on the one hand, there are still any number of cases, but we've kind of just gone back to normal. In what my friend has called the Great Quiet, which is lockdown, we're sick of the L word, but I think people either drank too much or turned it around and started, like, exercise. I'm manic about both. What did you do? Which path did you take? Yeah, I did both as well. I've always been quite keen on running, and which is another amazing thing about Melbourne. Obviously, there's the tan. It's a wonderful place to run, but it is also a great place to drink. And I was definitely doing both because we had this thing where every day either the Prime Minister or one of his goons would talk at 5 p.m. about,
we had that at 10 a.m. At 10
a.m. Yeah. Right, so that's less convenient for drinking, or more, it depends how you approach it.
It didn't stop me.
With the life, Mark.
To be fair, it wouldn't have stopped me. I'd be dead now if I'd been in Australia at that stage. So as it is, I did get into a routine of kind of having wine from then on, and then sometimes it would slide south of 5 p.m. quite significantly. I got into what's probably quite a dangerous thing of running in order to earn the booze. I thought you would get drunk and then hit the pavement. I'd say that's a more dangerous thing. I won't deny that did also happen a few times. Mark's show, This Can't Be It, kicks off tomorrow night here at the Melbourne Town Hall. Put your hands together for the amazing... Nice to be here. Mark Watson. Get your tickets at comedyfestival.com.au. Now go to bed, maybe.
Next.
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
It's our comedy festival show. Here's our next guest.
You see him walking into the studio, a comedian who recently advertised Roadhouse. It's Dave Thornton. He's on the show. It's Dave Thornton.
Nice. Oh, my God. My heart walking outside my body. It is Dave Thornton.
Thank you, Swanee. People didn't see it at home, but I was dancing like Alan, wasn't I? I was just working the crowd, having some fun.
Very much like Alan.
And you smell nice, too.
Oh, thank you, Brownie. I actually put some aftershave on for Brownie. He loves it. He loves the smell. He likes a good scent on a person.
He does.
Respect.
I'm trying to look for the right words here, mate.
Hey, I'm just going through your career highlights. So as your teaser...
Highlights and highlights.
Your career
highlights.
It's half a paragraph. That is it. I just want to say, Brownie, I'm a little bit worried because if I drop a joke here, am I going to get slapped by Will Smith? Is he in the crowd at this point in time?
What the hell? well.
Yeah, I know. What did happen there?
Hey, guys, he's a work in progress. All right.
Will Smith.
Okay?
Is he?
Come on, he's a work in
Really?
progress.
That is a genius caveat for terrible behaviour. I'm a work in progress. I'm a work in progress.
What are you
Sorry.
going to? Well, at least Chris Rock got like King Richard Will Smith, not like I've just got off Ali Will Smith and just decided to land one.
Hey, he actually is that a comedian's greatest fear? To get
getting hit.
Well, someone getting out of a crowd and or not taking a joke properly, especially celebrity.
Well, I mean, look. If we're going to go toe-to-toe with Will Smith stories, sure. Like Chris Rock got slapped at the Oscars, but I was doing a little gig, this is probably about 10 years ago, in a little place called Cooey Rup. So
wow.
I get booked for the big gigs, Brownie.
You do.
Now, this was I was doing it, because you and I have done footy gigs before.
Yes.
Have we not?
Yeah,
all on the books, pay tax to the ATO.
I never thought they'd get punchy at Cooey Rup Football Club. Did you? I couldn't see that coming.
I'll take the sarcasm out of that, replace it with sincerity. No, I was doing the gigs with Troy Kinney, friend of the show, from the Kinney Show, and Tom Seagate, who's got a show at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival.
Suburban footballer as well.
Very funny guy. So the three of us have gone down. We've been booked to do this gig. So we go down there, and each of us are doing 20 minutes of stand-up comedy, but then you got a cover band in between. So like Troy gets up, and like Troy's a very good comedian. Yeah. But unfortunately, he dies on his hole. Like
oh my God!
I've seen Troy at a footy club before, and he nailed it.
Destroys. It's the only time I've ever seen him not go that well. And so we're like, this isn't going well. And then the cover band plays for an hour and a half. So they're doing Jesse's Girl. People are losing it, going, these guys are geniuses. And then they're like, now time for another stand-up comedian. Tom gets up. Doesn't go well.
Oh, no.
Now, I'm the last one there, and I'm like, this is not good. Now, I always say this, and it's early in the morning, always drink responsibly, don't get me wrong. Like, you should never have too many drinks. But when I saw the coach out the back having a couple of Bacardi breezes with the under-16s, I'm like, this is not good. This is not great. So then I go on, it's about 11:30 at night. Yeah. And they're all just like, and the cover band stopped then to be like, guys, don't worry, we'll play Johnny Farnham later. Here he is, the stand-up comedian. I get on, and they hated me. So I did about 2 minutes, and you know what? I'll go.
2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Mate, that's the worst nightmare for a comedian, getting on later in the bill at a footy club.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I was just in the way. So I get off, and I'm like, sorry about that. I get off, and the coach comes steaming up. He's like, what have you done, mate? And I was like, mate, don't pay me. Don't worry about it. And he goes, we went through a booking agent, okay? And I found out the booking agent charged double because he wanted the money. He goes, how are we going to get that money back? I'm like, I don't know. And then he brings out this guy I can only describe as Mongo. This guy was about 6'5" and honestly about 130 kilograms. And he's just like, mate, if we don't get our money back, he's going to belt you. And I'm just like...
Oh, my God.
Not good.
How terrifying.
And we're and this is the thing. Kinney's like, I reckon we can have a go. I'm like, we're not having a go. He reckons we could take him.
Kinney could have a go.
Kinney could have a go.
Yeah.
I'm not having a go.
He's like an angry wombat, low to the ground and dense.
Yeah. I mean, we're on radio right now, but this is my performance face, guys. Like, my jokes are okay. It's my face that is getting me through, okay? So it's the only thing I've got.
And your smell.
Thank you, Brownie.
And your hair.
So then
In fairness.
We should be on TV for this. But this is the thing. So they're all like, what's going to go? And I said, oh, no, we'll work it out. And they said, if you say another word, we're going to belt you. You get back into your car. And the three of us, they all stood at the front of this function centre. We all walked into the car. We sat in the car. Didn't say a word for 20 minutes. But I tell you what, when we were 20 minutes away, geez, we gave it to them. Destroyed them.
I bet you did. Catch Dave's show. That happened at the Melbourne Town Hall from tomorrow night. I will definitely be there. You are one of my all-time favourite stand-ups. Please go and see Dave Thornton. He's extraordinary. Tickets at comedyfestival.com.au.
You silver-tongued devil.
Hey, hope you're enjoying this. Part 2 is in our podcast feed.
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie. Ripper Show will be back tomorrow. Chrissy, Sam and Brownie. Oh, unless it's a weekend.
Over 100.